This is Foxhound, and we are of Final Fantasy officially released to the public today, Tuesday, January 20th. For those who don't know, this is the latest expansion that just came out for Final Fantasy 15. System, content, a lot of different things. For those who have watched me before, I was maining warrior, but as you can see now, I am maining samurai. Now you may be wondering how I'm already a level 60 samurai. Samurai does start at level 50, but with the early access that started Friday, 4 days ago, I've managed to get myself to level 60 in actually 2 days. From 50 to 60 in 2 days. Just by running Palace of the Dead over and over, and it only took a total of about 8 hours to go from 50 to 60. So for those who are behind, it really takes no time to get to level 60. On top of that, all this gear you see, level 60 item level 255 gear, this you can buy, and I mean buy as in gil buy, you know, about 10,000 a piece. So you can, once you hit 60, you can actually catch up an eye level immediately. The highest eye level was 270 in the end of Heavensward, and the fact that you can just use gil to buy your way to 255 is pretty amazing, because now you can finish all Heavensward content, get into Stormblood, and be completely caught up without having to worry about gearing up. The blue gear I have, all the augmented Shire gear, can actually be bought through Poetics now. Lore and scripture are no longer in existence. Poetics still exists, and you can buy everything pre-Stormblood with Poetics, and it costs really cheap. Like nothing. Like the most expensive piece, the chest piece usually only costs 400 Poetics. The new currency is the Verity Elegant Tombstone, which will occur endgame, which I'm not there yet, but now that I've hit 60, I actually just started the main story quest because I couldn't do it since I was under 60. As you can see, I'm in the first new town. The first quest of Stormblood takes you to the new town already. The new town is called... let's find out right away. Abania? Whatever. Anyways, this is beyond the wall. You know, that's the wall separating Alamigo in Gridania to the Empire. This wall is the start of the new town. As you can see, it's called the Fringes. I don't have anything in the map unlocked, so I need to unlock all the Aetherites, explore the map, get flying again, but we're in the brand new city right as we popped into Stormblood. With that said, for those who are wondering, I'm someone who tanked almost all of Heavensward. I've played Paladin, moved to Warrior, tried Samurai but mained Warrior. I raided with Warrior. But after seeing what they did to the Warrior, I decided to drop it because Warrior got hit the hardest. It got nerfed immensely. You can no longer stand stance. It's boring to play because all you do is spam Storm's Path. It lost all raid utility. Storm's Path no longer does damage reduction. Storm's Eye doesn't give anything anymore. The slashing resistance went to Maim, but every other DPS class, including Samurai, can give slashing resistance. As you can see... where is it? Right here. Here was to do tons of damage and heal yourself a lot. The fact that they took away Bloodbath and took away stancing means you can't do tons of damage and you can't heal yourself, so what's the point of the Warrior anymore? With that being said, I decided to give the new Samurai class a shot. I've been very excited to play Samurai, and you know, I'm in love with the whole Japanese culture, and it is everything I've hoped plus more. From 50, anything before level 62, what I've heard, is one style of Samurai. and then everything after level 62 is another style of samurai. Reason being is because after level 62, you begin to get all your OGCDs. OGCDs being all of your off global cooldowns. And with that, and plus, you unlock all your Kenki skills. Kenki is the samurai gauge. As you can see, this is a new edition of Stormblood. Every class has a new gauge now. If I'm warrior, you know, we have gauges. If I'm monk, I don't have a gauge yet. But samurai, my gauge is here. Everyone has gauge. And actually, funny thing is, samurai's unique because has not just one gauge, but a second gauge called Sen. Basically, it's 3 types of powers. Snow, moon, and flower. Basically, individually, they don't matter. It's more like how many you have. So if I have 1 Sen, I can do a special attack. 2 Sen, any 2 special attack. 3 Sen, any special attack. I'm sure most people already know what the samurai is like, but, you know, I'll just go over briefly what I think. Now that I'm level 60, I've played with it a bit. Samurai is really strong. I'd be really surprised if they didn't nerf it. Reason being, the main goal of the samurai is to use this skill, Kaiten, plus the damage over time skill. Let me find it. The damage over time skill, Higanbana. So 240 is what it is initially, plus 50% becomes 360. A 360 potency dot that lasts for 65 seconds. Sorry, the potency is 35 plus 50%. Let's say it's 17, so it becomes 52. A 52 dotting attack is absolutely ridiculously strong. It's actually the main goal of the samurai rotation, is to pop Kaiten and to use that Higanbana dot. Where is it here? Most of us thought it would be this one, Midare Setsugeka. I'm just going to call it Midare. It's an attack that is 720 versus a 240 60-second potency dot. The problem is, we don't know if it's a glitch or a bug, but Kaiten usually does not work with dots. Or shouldn't have worked with dots. The fact that it does makes this Midare skill useless, because the priority will always be Higanbana, as it does add a lot, and I mean a lot more DPS. So for the samurais wondering, we aren't going to be able to use this skill as much as we would like, but I mean, of course, that's only for people who are trying to get the most DPS out possible. For anyone casually playing, feel free to use whatever you like. The second biggest skill is Guren, which, as you can see, it's an 800 potency attack. Obviously, we don't care about the 25% and 50% less, we only care what we're hitting. And we're hitting something for 800 versus 720. Now 800 at the 50%, which is 400, becomes 1200. Difference is this is an OGCD. It uses up Kenki. As you can see, the Kenki gauge cost is 50. Kenki is this. We have a maximum of 100. But anyways, when we can't use Guren, we're using Higanbana. When we can't use Higanbana, then we can use Midare. Shinten is actually also pretty important, just because it's a 300 pot. We can use much more often. As you can see, it's instant. It's an OGCD and it only has a 1 second cooldown. So to constantly pop that is pretty potent. So that's my take of the samurai combos. Basically, if they don't nerf the fact that you can use Kai 10 with the dot, then that's crazy strong. But generally, Samurai is now seen as the most burst-heavy class, possibly more than Black Mage. But it is the most burst-heavy of all the melee classes, including Dragoon. Is it stronger than other classes? No, because other classes offer raid utility, while Samurai doesn't really offer raid utility outside of the slashing resistance, which, again, many classes have. The point, of the Samurai is it loses raid utility, but it does a shit ton of damage, which is crazy. Other notes, I guess. Samurai is so strong in every form of attacking. I mean, look at its AoE combos. 100 damage potency, 100 potency in a cone, which leads to a 200 damage potency attack, and then resets to the 100, which goes to another 200. These two are the same, they're just an AoE circle that does 200. After that, you unlock the Iaijutsu Tenka Goken with 2 Sen, which is a cone that does, I think, 300. Let's find out. It's 300. 360. So, not only does he have amazing single target damage, he has one of the best AoE combo damages. And on top of that, he's one of the most mobile classes. Look at this. He can shoulder charge in. He can do an elusive jump style attack out, and then deliver a ranged attack that combos from the elusive jump Gyoten. So essentially, you can do, if the boss is about to do an AoE, you use Gyoten, 100 pot potency attack with a 10 yam backstep. That combos into your 300 potency ranged attack, which then you use Gyoten shoulder charge back in. This is insane, all the mobility, AoE, and single target damage this guy can do. The biggest nerf he got from the last build before the release was Third Eye. In the previous build, it was a damage reduction of 20%, which was crazy strong. But not the fact that it's down to 5%, it actually makes it kind of useless. So I think the good medium is about 10 or even 15% to make it useful. I'm guessing they reduced it because they didn't want the Samurai to be able to help tank hits they shouldn't be able to. Other than that, I'm not going to run through the Samurai combos yet, as there's not technically a perfect combo opener and combos to sustain throughout yet, because very little people are 70 right now. I mean, I'm 60. If it took me 2 days to get to 60, maybe there are some 70 samurais out there, but the fact that it's hard, there's not enough information and data. No one has played samurai long enough at 70 to fully maximize the combo, so right now, just have fun with it. Other big changes. As you can see, cross classes are no longer a thing. All these skills are available to DPS, where tanks and healers have different ones, but Second Wind, Leg Sweep, Invigorate, Goad, and Bloodbath are all available to every single DPS class. I feel these are the most important, with the exception of True North. Samurai has 2 positionals, as you can see on Gecko, rear combo bonus, and Kasha, side combo bonus. It's good and bad. Good that it doesn't... Oh, bad that it doesn't give that much Kenki gauge, but good that because it doesn't give so much, it's not detrimental if you don't combo it. Anyways, that's my that's my summary of the Samurai class. I'm completely in love with it. I will main it. I don't plan on going back to Warrior unless Warrior gets a fix. fixes will most likely come, actually I'm guessing quite quickly, because usually what they do is at around version like not version 4.1 would usually be the next gear big patch, but probably they'll do a 0.05 where it's like a specific balance patch to help fix any imbalances in each class. You know, it's kind of still, it's a release. It's kind of still buggy. Nothing's perfect. It does take some patches to balance out classes. Anyways, as you can see here, my MSQ is follow lease. Spoilers are coming. I'm about to spoil the story, so if you haven't played Heaven's Ward, please stop listening. If you don't care, then please listen. I'll wait about 5 seconds so people can mute or turn off. Alright, so Lise, what I discovered, is the main monk in the game. The trailer to this game, Stormblood, features two monks fighting each other. The girl is actually Lise, and Lise is actually Yida, the part of the girl and the seven scions with the mask, the monk that stuck with Paplimo, the little short guy, a lot. That was a big shock. It turns out she was hiding her identity for reasons which I won't go into, but basically she decided, hey, I'm gonna stop lying to everybody, I'm gonna be my true self, and she becomes that badass monk in the trailer. I don't know anything else right now because I need to play the story. So that's the end of the spoilers. I'm waiting for duty quests. I'm waiting for a friend to do duty roulette right now. But yeah, duty roulette is pretty packed and congested right now. With the two new DPS classes, it sucks to be a DPS class, because queues can take over 30 minutes. They're average 40 minutes. Tank and healer classes have it great. That's the one thing I miss about being a warrior, is that the queues were instant. Yeah, so I'm waiting for a friend right now, so that my friend here, Lancer, is a healer, so I'll get insta-queued. Another friend of mine, Desidia, plays Dragoon. We're not sure where he is right now, but we're waiting for him so we can do duty roulette, because duty roulette, as you can see, the level 1560 roulette have merged. The reason why we're doing it again is because they give a lot of XP, and now that the level cap is 70, we need to farm as much XP as we can. I could go back to Palace of the Dead, but that's boring because then all my MSQ experience goes to waste. Once again, I love the Samurai class. I mean, I'm only level 60, and I have 10 levels to go, but I leveled Samurai in the early access. It took me about a total of 8 hours, I think. It's not long at all to go from 50 to 60. I've given up my Warrior because they nerfed... Warrior got hit with the nerf hammer. Warrior is actually the worst tank now. Paladin is the strongest tank, so if you want a tank, play Paladin right now. It's ridiculously strong. I find Paladin boring personally, but it gets really interesting after 60. I just couldn't reach 60. But, you know, don't let that stop you. Samurai, on the other hand, has just so many combos, and I love it. I mean, it's not the easiest class because you have a lot of things to keep an eye on. You've got 2 buffs to keep an eye on, which are damage dealt and your speed skill speed increase. You have a dot to keep an eye on, which is Higanbana, but a 60-second dot, thank goodness. You have slashing resistance to keep an eye on, and then you have all your OG CDs, which I'll unlock more of, to keep an eye on once you have Kenki gauge and the amount of sen. It's actually quite a bit. But I'll give you a demonstration now of the samurai class now that my friend has joined, and we're gonna go into the duty roulette. Because we have a healer, you can see the wait time is only, it says 6 minutes, not really 6 minutes. But that's 6 minute. The fact that we're waiting for people just means very little people are playing tank right now. If I had to say, tank class lost the most players because mainly because you can no longer stance. The problem with it, I'll show you guys. Deliverance, every tank has 2 classes. I'll use Warrior for example. Warrior has a Deliverance gauge and a Defiance gauge. The main problem with the tanks now is that, at least for Warrior, you lose all your gauge no matter what you have. You lose all your gauge when you stance, when you switch stances. On top of that, all the bonuses on every attack only apply in tank stance, meaning they're trying to really encourage you to stay in tank stance, or at least not stance. With that being said, it's a medium. You know, casual players who don't know how to stance will get the most out of their combos, and veteran players don't have to worry about complicated stancing and can focus more on boss mechanics. Their aim in Stormblood is to have players focus less on personal DPS combos and more on boss mechanics. So basically, they've simplified literally, like even Ninja, I hear a lot of people say it's somewhat too easy now, but they've simplified every character's combos in exchange for making more interesting and harder boss fights. Which I'm okay with, because it means casuals can feel like they're doing well, and veterans can still feel a challenge when playing endgame content. I myself will be playing lots of endgame content. I can't wait to raid with Samurai, whether I'm doing EX Primals, Savage, which is Omega. I think Omega. Yeah, Omega's the raid. Yeah, I'm very excited to see Samurai's potential. So anyways, back to this. I'll show you his DPS combos. His ridiculous DPS combos. So Fuga, which is the cone, into Mangetsu, which is circle, Fuga again, which is into Oka, and finally, oh, I don't have it, okay. I used too many. Give me one moment. Okay, so it's a 2-step combo. Fuga into Mangetsu, and then Fuga into Oka, and then into Kenka Golken, which is a cone. As you can see, it eats up TP like crazy, so thank goodness we have Invigorate now. Goes the tank. General rule for anyone who doesn't know much about DPS classes, never use AoE attacks if there are less than 3 enemies. So meaning 3 or more enemies, use AoE attacks. Otherwise, it's not worth it when there's only 1 or 2 enemies. Oh, I'm trying to type to him. Sorry, it's hard for me to talk and fight at the same time, especially when I'm doing a new class. Like, I haven't fully muscle memorized the combos on Samurai yet. As you can see how I'm messing up all my combos. I don't even have any Sen right now. Anyways, the 3 Sen attacks are at the end of every combo. So 1, 2, 3. 3 is Kasha, gives Flower. 1, 4, 5, Gecko gives Moon. And 1 and 6. The last combo is only a 2-step, Yukikaze, which gives Snow. So Snow, Moon, Flower. And it's not about what you have, but the number you have. So 2 gives Tenkogoken, 1 gives the Dot Higanbana, 3 gives the Midare. Which I'll demonstrate right now. Oh, I guess what happened to my attack? Oh, I know what's happening. Let's try it again. So Kai 10 into the 720, which makes it 1080. As you can see, that did 9,801 with no crit. The reason why I'm not following my own advice from earlier this video is because pre-62 and post-62 are very different combos, as pre-62 has no OGCDs, post-62 has all the OGCDs, so the combo becomes much different. So Samurai has their own perfect balance with this Neko Chisui. As you can see, I used the last 3 of my combo enders immediately, got the Sen, using my 7 to 1 attack again. And then Kai 10 into the Dot Higanbana, which as you can see is a 60-second dot, that's crazy. You don't get much Sen pre-62, which is why you can see my Sen gauge is pretty low. You get a lot more Sen when you hit post-62, because a lot of the OGCDs grant Kenku. Ow, that hurts quite a bit. Oh no, I'm lagging. What happened? No one's moving. Is it just me? Or is it the server? Well, it's not my internet. So it's very possible that the server's crashed? Let's find out. Sorry about that, folks. It turns out the server crashed. It wasn't my internet. Let's find out if we can get back in. Turns out my other friends have crashed as well. Of course. Please allow Funis to log out. Okay. Sorry folks, I have to restart, which is really weird.